Hello and welcome slashers, I'm Crypt here, and welcome to my series Shelved Horror, where I talk about the horror ideas that never saw the light of day. In this case, I will be talking about a horror remake of my favorite horror slasher of all time, Chucky. Before you guys say anything, yes, I do know that Child's Play was remade in 2019. I covered it for over a year, as you guys may be able to see on my channel. I spent a whole year doing videos on it. Today is actually the 1-year anniversary of the Child's Play remake, so happy anniversary to the remake, and happy Father's Day, guys. As a way to celebrate this special occasion for Shelved Horror, I thought that it would be a fun idea to go over the cancelled remake, the Don Mancini remake for Child's Play that never came out. Let's get into it. The original Child's Play remake, announced around in 2007 and was going to be set to release in 2012, that would have been a terrifying and modern version of the 1988 original film. It would have taken ideas from Don Mancini's original Batteries Not Included script, which was changed to Blood Buddies due to Steven Spielberg's Batteries Not Included movie that was coming out later around that time. But it had the name Blood Buddy until it was ultimately changed to Child's Play. The remake would not only have elements from the original Blood Buddy script, but it would also have twists and turns to throw off new audiences and longtime fans of the franchise. To add to the long list of things we could have expected from this remake, Don Mancini states, well, it will definitely be modernized to the extent that it will take place in 2010. Or whenever the movie comes out. That's what we're shooting for at this point. We're going to be using animatronic puppets again, not CGI. They were also going to go back to the original horror roots with a much darker tone compared to all the other previous films. The 2012 remake would see Brad Dourif return as the voice of Chucky and Don Mancini return as the writer, and would possibly even direct this remake. And yes, David Kirshner would return as the producer of this remake. And speaking of which, the remake was Universal's idea, as stated by David Kirshner. Here's what he has to say about that. Actually, it was Universal. In our discussions of Dawn and my producing partner, we thought we would go on to the next film, but Universal said to us that they would love to be able to remake the first. I think all of us looked at each other and said, we just don't want to make a frame by frame exactly the same picture. That's when Don went away and began to work, and when Don began to lay out where he was going. I don't want to give away too much. I've known Don for 22 years. We're dear friends. I know his humor. I know his mind. I was so shocked with where he was taking us with expectations of the first film and pulling the rug out from under us. It was exciting and really frightening and exhilarating to hear, as opposed to just shooting a frame for frame, but really subverting audiences' expectations. Sounds like a remake we could have all stood by. The remake was originally going to go to Universal, but that's where MGM stepped in and said, hey, we own the first film. You gotta do this remake through us. And that they did. Which brings me to the 20th anniversary of Child's Play, which doesn't have much, but has a little bit of information on the Child's Play remake we never got to see. For starters, there's these Chucky commentary tracks. If you guys don't know what they are, they're pretty much these commentaries that Chucky does. It's pretty much Brad Dourif doing the Chucky voice over select scenes. I also wish they did a whole commentary for the movie like this. But in the very last commentary track that features Don Mancini talks about a kill that was supposed to be in the original Blood Buddy script. This kill takes place at a dentist's office, and the dentist that works there gets a drill to the head, in and out. And Chucky says rinse and spit after he kills this dentist. And you might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with the canceled remake? Well, this was hinted at being in the remake. I obviously can't share the audio or anything like that because of copyrights. So if I can find this commentary track on YouTube or something, I'll leave a link description below because YouTube's gonna fuck me with copyright. So I can't use it here. I'm sorry, guys. Not to mention, apparently there's gonna be a fun reprise of the scene where Chucky's in the elevator and there's the two old people and the old lady calls Chucky an ugly doll and he's like, fuck you, as he elevates up. Apparently they're gonna put a new twist on that scene. I'm not sure where he was gonna go with it. I'm not sure if he's gonna kill this old couple or what, but he wanted to do something interesting with it, and unfortunately, since the remake that Don Mancini was planning never happened, we don't know what that is that he was going to do with this. But that was really all I was able to really find on this remake and the 20th anniversary of Child's Play. Like I said, check out these special features out for yourself. Those Chucky commentaries are pretty dope, and I thought it would be interesting to know some of the things that are mentioned in this commentary track because, well, no one's really brought it up in a video. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thinks this, but there are 3 different secret messages you can find in the 20th anniversary of Child's Play. Each one shows a 3D model of Chucky cracking wise and laughing. Yes, the 3D model looks like Chucky, but a little bit different. I'm not sure how to quite describe it, but just take a look at him. He looks different. Like, he doesn't look like he takes after the original film or any of the other ones. I mean, yes, you could tell it's Chucky, definitely, but he just looks a tad bit different. Could this have been some kind of example of how Chucky could have ended up looking in Don Mancini's remake? I don't know. What do you guys think on this? But let's move on. David Kirshner even described the remake as a reboot to Chucky's origin, or something like that. And to add to that, here's something that Don Mancini said. Well, obviously doing the remake allows us to do that. Part of the origin of Chucky is the last of his human days as the serial killer Charles Lee Ray. So we will be depicting that again, but as David Kirshner was suggesting, we're going to be adding new stuff as well. Maybe more backstory to Charles Lee Ray, more character to Eddie Caputo. So many possibilities. That's one of the things we're most excited about. Really, it's just allowing this great Oscar-nominated actor, giving him material to play in one of his most signature roles. He's talking about Brad Dourif there. So, if Charles Lee Ray was going to come back, then this must mean that the script that Don Mancini was working on wasn't just going to be a modernized version of the Blood Buddy script. And that would have also meant that the voodoo would indeed come back in this remake. For those who did not know, the original script of Child's Play, originally named Blood Buddies, was going to feature a twist where the doll wasn't alive after all. It was just a part of Andy's imagination. And obviously, this isn't the case anymore. So with this statement from Don Mancini said, the film would most likely feature ideas and concepts from Don Mancini's original script. It would, however, be a modern take on the original film, but nothing like the Child's Play 2019 remake. The closest to what we could have expected from this 2012 remake of Child's Play could be found in the Chucky fan film Charles, a reimagining of the first film that sets out to tell a completely different story from what we've seen from all of the films so far. And instead of being connected to any of the other films, it's its own thing. And an amazing cast and crew of people are working very hard to give us a Chucky fan film unlike anything we've ever seen before. Something truly amazing. And one that will keep us up at night pissing ourselves. I have a whole playlist of every video I've ever done on this fan film. Seriously, check out the videos I've done on this fan film if you haven't seen them already. You will not regret it. But let's move on to why this Dawn Mancini Child's Play remake was cancelled. Why was this remake cancelled? Well, you could think crappy little remakes like the one that starts with an A and ends with a T. Take a wild guess. But it's remakes like this and others that were badly received that made Dawn Mancini and Universal and them back out of this remake. Dawn Mancini stated they didn't really make that much of a splash. So then people started to rethink that, Mancini said. We thought with Curse, we could have our cake and eat it too. We made it sort of a tonal reboot that turned out to be a sequel in disguise, if that makes any sense. So a lot of the elements, ideas, and concepts that were supposed to be in the 2012 remake were brought over to Curse of Chucky. Do I think this remake deserved to get cancelled? Of course not. But I do, however, feel that there may have been a specific reason in the universe for why it got cancelled. Like, I feel that the 2012 remake may have gotten cancelled so that we could get the 2019 remake that we ultimately got. And thankfully, that remake wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. However, I would have loved to see Dawn Mancini's ideas for a Child's Play remake and where he would have taken it. I honestly think he would have done something great with it, but the Child's Play 2019 remake is still, however, very outstanding. And even though it isn't the Chucky we all grew up with, it's still a very interesting portrayal of Chucky. But that'll be all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before I fully close off this video, I have switched merch stores. I went from Redbubble to Teespring. And I have a new special design exclusive to that new store. It is Killer Dolls from Outer Space. This is an idea for a shirt that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's finally here, and you can own one of these shirts now. Just follow the merch link down in the description below or at the end of this video, because there will be a merch link at the end or the little bubble up at the top, so keep on the lookout for that. I'm very happy with how the merch design came out. I have an artist that made it for me, the same guy who made some of my intros, like for example the intro for my Shelved Horror series. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and definitely subscribe to Become Slasher. All social media links and my merch down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, my Shelved Horror video on the Child's Play remake we never got. I know that 3C Films made a video on this, so I tried to do mine a little bit differently and tried to add some of my own stuff. And overall, I hope you guys like this video. I will be doing another Shelved Horror video on Chucky very soon. Just keep a lookout on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but I'm out of here and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget, guys, to keep on slashing.